Hello, and I'm back again. My name is Anya, and I apologize for not being around, but I took a little vacation, a very nice little vacation. But enough now. So I'm back. Actually, I wanted to continue the Rill series today, but something came up, and I thought it would be more important to talk about the Thuja tree. So I will continue with the Rill series next time or next week. So the Thuja tree. Most of you have maybe seen this tree because you find it mostly on cemeteries. I explain why. Or maybe some of you have it as a hedge or have maybe one in a house, at the house, not in the house. So I used to have a cute little Thuja tree right in front of my house or next to my entry door where it was really protecting nicely. So what happened the other day, a crack was fixed in the basement and they had to cut the tree down. I said no, but the landlord said yes. So yeah, and that was actually the reason why I felt guided to talk about it, or the message I got from the tree. Because before they cut it down, I spoke my blessings and said thank you to the tree, and I took a few branches of his for smudging. I never cut off branches because he was totally healthy. So yeah, so while I was standing there and almost crying because I felt very, very bad for this tree, besides the construction workers looking at me like I got a screw loose, but I could not give a flying fuck. So yeah, I got a message to talk about it since, yeah, I obviously didn't receive it before, and it matches perfectly to what is going on with a lot of people I noticed. And again, there's a lot of purging happen, a lot of past releasing, a lot of karmic tie releasing. It's like we're like in the, yeah, not the end game, that sounds bad. It's like most of us worked hard on releasing, and now we're releasing really the rest. It's like washing it out after releasing, if I make any sense. I can't explain it better. And I had that as well. You know, I did a lot of releasing work, trauma work, and all that. And the last few days or weeks, I had very strange dreams, and I wasn't rested after all. When I woke up, I couldn't sleep well. So I knew it was just the rest of the releasing. And it was with chest pressure. I couldn't really breathe. I was really feeling crabby, but I didn't give up. So I pushed through it. And I did some energy work with my shaman friend Niels. He asked for help, so I said, okay, while you're on it, we always do an exchange. And then it ended up being the same issue, and I talked to some other people that I did work for. It all was the same, so I'm thinking some of you out there all experience the same right now. And what my shaman friend found of me that I never even thought of and never went that far, he found a part of my soul that was locked up since I was 20 years. So we mostly work with our inner child, but you never even think about talking to a part of yourself, you know, around that age or other ages. So that was very interesting. So yeah, it's hard, and I'm not saying it's easy at all, but at the end it's gonna be like a rebirth, and this tree can help you with it. It totally can. And yeah, again, that tree said it's the time now to talk about it, and I was amazed, and I'm thinking if this poor little tree had to die so he got my 100% of attention. I hope not. So I will explain you how, but let me tell you a bit about this tree, as I always do. So originally this tree is from eastern North America and came about 1550 to Europe. It belongs to the cypresses species, and it has its name from, what was the guy's name? Jacques Cartier, a French explorer and navigator. And he sailed in 1534 with 2 ships to Newfoundland. So, and on this journey, his team suffered from scurvy. Most sailors did. But, and they didn't know about anything like juniper berries, for example, right? Or apples, or couldn't afford it, whatever. So, and when they got there, Indians of the tribe of the Hurons prepared a tea from the bark of the Thuja. And it's very vitamin C containing, and the drink healed the man quickly. So Jacques Cartier, called the tree Arbor Vitae, which means, it's Latin and it means tree of life. And the botanical name Thuja, which is interestingly also used more in the German-speaking world as tree of life, goes back to the Greek, Thyain, which in Latin means tus, and that means frankincense. And this again means offering smoke. So here we already see and recognize one of the preferred uses of the plant. So, but before I go ahead, don't go scrubbing up bark and needles of the tree. In higher dosages, it's toxic. So, and as with every other herb, so don't experiment around if you're not familiar with any healing herbs or roots or barks, right? I just want to mention that here again. If you have questions, you can ask me. Maybe even you have on a homeopathic level, you know someone, but don't experiment around if you're not familiar with this. So let's continue with the tree. Also, like I mentioned in the beginning, it's found on cemeteries because it's considered a mourning tree. So and therefore it's part of a cemeteries as a wintergreen tree because it always greens. It embodies the eternal life that guards the threshold between the world and the hereafter. So, and it got a very strong smell, very beautiful smell. Like I have the branches that I cut off in my house to dry, and it smells beautiful. And this smell dispels negative energies and spirits, and it keeps them away from the living. So, in North American coastal Indians smudged rooms of the deceased and washed the walls with Thuja branches. So pretty much the same effect as the juniper. So if you compare them, you know, the needles, the bark, they're very similar. So the shape is related, the columnar form is related to the word column, which means the axis mundi, as in the Materian myth of the cypress. So thus the Thuja separates and connects the world of the living and the dead at the same time. And I explain you why in a bit. So, and before I forget, also the tree can grow up to 25 meters and it can reach an age of 2,000 years. So yeah, very beautiful. And it's a true world tree because in fact the oldest known Thuja has reached well over 1,000 years of age. So as you can see on the picture, well, it said 1,000 years, but you know what I mean, right? You know, we never have the proof how old what is really. So, but just to compare, the tree was small when I moved in 3 years ago, and now it was almost as tall as me. So just to compare. So the ingredients and healing properties of this tree, like I said, it was already appreciated by the Indians of North America, and the medical used plant parts of the tree of life are the branch tips and the younger shoots of the tree. And the most important ingredients they're flavonoids, tannins, egg whites, and sugar compounds, as well as lignans. About lignans I haven't talked, but about flavonoids and tannins. And additionally, they're very rich in essential oils. So, and therefore it has a very antiviral effect, and it's directly fighting the disease causing viruses, and it strengthens the immune system at the same time. Beautiful. Also, finally, which I find very interesting, and this was just subject yesterday in California, Thuja is also very good for the bad effects of vaccination. So because vaccination, I see, and I don't care who says what, I see it as a violation of our body and our soul. Okay, so there you go, that's my opinion. So then we have side effects like diarrhea, skin rash, even rheumatism, headache, asthma, glandular swelling, developmental disorders, insomnia, bedwetting, you know, and those, yeah, occur more after vaccinations. And Thuja takes care of this too, because, yeah, it takes you to build up the borders, and like I said, body and mind, body and soul, they need to be balanced. So therefore I used Thuja in the past, and I'm gonna do it more now, since this seems to be the top subject right now for a lot of people. I used for person who experienced their consciousness as separated from the body. So here's the world access aspect well expressed. So, and it leads to reconnection of soul and body, which is so important. And you might experience like even following symptoms that you are not aware of, that those are part of it. And it sounds funny, but I'm not kidding. So it could be greasy hair, it could be sweating, it could be warts. Okay, they are like thematically related to closeness and contact, or your inner avoidance. So, and the Saturnian character of Thuja draws and harmonizes the body boundaries. So maybe also a reason why Thuja likes to be used as a hedge plant, which looks like a green wall. Okay, so Thuja stabilizes the border and brings body and soul back together. It strengthens your identity. So and this, like with the smudging and the meditation or work that you do on yourself, you can combine this with the homeopathic help. So but I'm talking about the smudging now, but still it has so many aspects, and I found it very important. Yeah, the body and soul part, because yeah, we need to take better care of our bodies, which is a problem these days with everything they feed us, right? But we have to do our best out of it. So what you can do, you can smudge the needles and the wood of this tree. So for the customs and the magical use, if you smudge Thuja, it really drives away negative energies or evil energies. I don't even like the word evil, like, just let me call it negative. So the smell of it, how can I describe it? Yeah, of course, it smells like green, like pine, kinda. But, or some feel it smells like turpentine. I find the smell more like cake with almonds. I can't. Or pineapple, I don't know. It's just very different. I mean, if you smell it without smudging, it smells, of course, like all the pine trees, right? But once you burn it, it has a totally different smell. So, and already in Mesopotamian, in writings where the cypress and incense was mentioned. And again, the branches were smudged to expel evil spirits and negative energies, but also for incantations. So, and from fresh branches of the cypress are also they're also used for the smudging houses. So the Thuja, the cypress, they cleanse, they strengthen your self-confidence, and they increase your zest of life, you know, and resilience. So, and also the needles and the wood, they reinforce your psychic abilities. So I like to use it in rituals as an incense component when it comes to retrieving soul parts, you know, like I mentioned before, which mostly happens to traumatic experience. You just use a fragment of your soul without even knowing. This is when you don't feel in tune with yourself. Yeah, how can I explain that? Yeah, you don't feel in tune with yourself. You don't feel fulfilled. So it can have many other issues as well, but this could be one of them, that a part of your soul fragment is missing. So this is what I used it in the past for retrieving, you know, those soul fragments, or even to clean up foreign occupations, you know, which I don't mean something slips into you. It's not as easy, so I don't want anyone to freak out. But if you have attachments or anything, especially in these times, and I'm not holding back anymore, yeah, I mean, besides government and corporations and everything, I mean, we know by now what they're up to. And of course, they have their psychic team, I would like to call it here for now. And they are working very hard right now too. Let me just put it this way. And of course, especially attacked other people awakening or trying to fight against that system, doing something, changing something. But don't get intimidated, please. Because they use the same magic as we can use, so. But I'm drifting off here. Yeah, so the Thuja tree clean up attachments as well, right? So, and yeah, I put it as an ingredients in smudging mixes that I create. But I make smudging mixes for every occasion different, right? I mix different ones for every person, for every ritual. I have one mix that I use for regular energy work, and yeah, and then I mix whatever I feel I have to put in there. So I don't have a list, I just go what I feel guided to put in. So, but back to the Thuja, this is, yeah, this is the tree of life. It's this tree, the Thuja, is the spirit of the connection of body and mind. So, yeah. Well, I hope you liked the little story. I know it's short, but I have to warm up again and get going. But after my holiday, I had to catch up work and all that. So, yeah, I will work on my real info. I have it together, but I still feel something is missing, so I'm waiting for more input, or let me put it this way, output. And yeah, I will be back next week. And thank you everyone for listening and coming back and not forgetting about me. And I have not forgotten about you either. I just enjoyed, yeah, a very nice holiday with a special person. So yeah, and then I had to catch up with 3D stuff. Okay, everyone, wherever you are, you have a good day, a good night, or a good morning. I see you all next week, and love you all. Bye bye.